Hello everyone and welcome back to another Hard Count podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins, who currently have the number 3 overall pick in the draft, and I'm going to be telling you guys why exactly the Dolphins have to take North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance with this number 3 overall pick. Real quick though, before we get into the video, I just want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me, and I've been gaining a lot of subscribers recently. I would love to keep it up. So thank you guys for that. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. The Miami Dolphins currently have the number 3 pick in the draft that they acquired from the Houston Texans in a trade. What a turnaround for the Dolphins. Last season, they were 0-8 in their first 8 games. Everyone said they were a lock for the first overall pick, but they finished strong, went 4-4 in their last 8 games. And now, just one season later, they're sitting as the number 5 seed in the AFC playoffs with a 10-5 record. The Dolphins have a fantastic franchise. They have one of the best young coaches in Brian Flores, who's really helping turn this organization around. They've got a great defense with a ton of talent, and they should have a very bright future ahead of them. And last season, the Miami Dolphins seeked to grab their quarterback of the future in Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. But this season, Tua's struggled more than expected. He really hasn't brought anything special to the table. He's had to be pulled for Ryan Fitzpatrick twice, and he really hasn't lived up to the hype for him in the NFL. So the Dolphins have an opportunity here, an opportunity with this number 3 overall pick to go out and grab a quarterback in this class that can be special and turn this team into something special in the NFL. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys why exactly the Dolphins need to move on from Tua and draft Trey Lance out of North Dakota State University. First thing I'm going to do is tell you guys why the Dolphins should move on from Tua, and then I'm going to tell you guys why Trey Lance is the guy the Dolphins cannot pass up on. So first, as we talked about, what about Tua? I talked about a little bit earlier. He was drafted last year to the Dolphins. He was supposed to be their future, but it really hasn't looked like it this far. The Dolphins don't trust him in the big moment. As we've seen, they've taken him out twice with the game on the line. He's struggled to push the ball down the field. He doesn't bring anything special to the offense. And Tua really hasn't looked like the player the Dolphins were hoping for. And I do have a major issue with Tua, and this is one of my big concerns. And my major issue with him is that he's not physically gifted. He doesn't bring too much to an offense. You know, he's going to take what's there to be had in an offense, but in today's NFL, that's just not good enough. Look at the top 8 quarterbacks in the league: Mahomes, Rodgers, Watson, Wilson, Allen, Jackson, Herbert, Murray. Notice anything? These guys are all special, whether it be a rocket arm, elite athleticism. They all add much more to an offense than what's in the system. And yeah, it's important to hit throws that are in the system. It's important to not leave anything on the table. But the quarterback position is different than it was 10 to 15 years ago. And franchise quarterbacks are not guys that only take what is there, but rather guys that expand the offense and add new layers to an offense. And I know what you're saying to yourselves right now. Oh, he's only a rookie. Come on, you got to give him so much time. He has so much time to grow and learn. But my response to that is, how much does he really have to grow? How much potential does Tua have to unlock? And yeah, sure, he could polish his reads up a little bit more, maybe get more comfortable in the pocket, maybe develop a couple of things in terms of accuracy and mechanics. But I think Tua, out of college, was already viewed as a pretty pro-ready guy. He's not going to develop a cannon or become an elite athlete all of a sudden. And as I said, my biggest gripe with Tua is his athleticism and the lack of adding things to an offense. I don't see Tua growing like some of the other quarterbacks because I see him as already being relatively close to his ceiling. In what parts of his game can he grow drastically? Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that Tua can still be a decent quarterback in this league with proper development. And again, I'm not saying he cannot be decent, but what I'm saying here is that the Dolphins have an opportunity here at the 3rd pick to take a quarterback that can be a top 3 quarterback in the league, a top 5 quarterback in the league, which I just do not see Tua Tagovailoa becoming. Now, one thing that I hear a lot is, oh, just wait one more year, and if Tua isn't good, then you can just get rid of him, get a new quarterback, right? Just that easy. But the issue is, The Dolphins cannot wait. They're not going to have this opportunity again. They're currently in a position with a 3rd overall pick in the NFL draft. An elite quarterback will be on the board no matter how the draft plays out. And the Dolphins are a competitive team. They aren't going to get this opportunity to take a quarterback early in the draft for a long time because they're going to be getting the 20th, 25th pick in the draft. So if there's any doubt in Tua, which it appears there is as they've taken him out twice, the Dolphins need to recognize that they have this opportunity and they need to capitalize on it. Because I would hate to see the Dolphins get stuck in a situation that so many teams have before where, they're stuck with an average, below average quarterback, and that really stops them from competing despite what's on the rest of their roster. I want the Dolphins to learn from teams of the past. One example that I want to give is the New York Giants in just the past couple of years. We know they drafted Daniel Jones in 2019, and they got the 4th pick in 2020. They decided to hang on to Daniel Jones, but if they recognize that he wasn't the guy, the Giants right now could be sitting with Justin Herbert, who in my opinion is already the 7th best quarterback in the NFL. And, Sam Darnold with the Jets this year. If the Jets do not move on from Sam Darnold, it would be a huge mistake. And a perfect example of what I'm talking about, a team that took a quarterback in the 1st round and in the first year realized that this guy maybe wasn't their guy, and then they had an early pick the next year and took a quarterback, is just something that's happened in recent years. 2018, 2019, the Arizona Cardinals took Josh Rosen in 2018. He played a season for them. They had doubts about him, so what do? They don't hang on to him for too long. They turn right around, draft Kyler Murray, and I would say the Cardinals are pretty happy with Kyler Murray and not Josh Rosen. In the NFL, you draft quarterback until you get it right. Quarterback is the most important position. Quarterback is the position that wins you Super Bowls in the NFL. Just to put it into context, a great quarterback, if the Dolphins had one, would be worth 3-4 points over what Tua is right now. While what I'm seeing a lot of times is an offensive tackle, a wide receiver going to the Dolphins, even a great one would turn out to be 0.5 point, 1 point over what the Dolphins have right now at that position. So we looked at it. I just do not want to see the Dolphins make the same mistake that several other teams have made in the past, because they have an opportunity to get a guy for their future that can help them compete, and they can't pass up on that. Now, speaking of the guy for the future, who would that guy be in the future? Who would be worthy of taking with that number 3 overall pick? And the guy to me is Trey Lance. Trey Lance from North Dakota State University is the guy that they need to take. I think he is absolutely fantastic, and we talked about Tua not being the build of an elite franchise quarterback, right? Well, Trey Lance is the opposite. He's got all sorts of ability. He is built to be a franchise-leading quarterback in today's NFL. I think Lance has elite mobility. He can really use his legs, and that's a huge part of today's game. Not even running down the field, just being able to move out of the pocket, but Lance can do more than that. He's able to run down the field. He kind of reminds me of Josh Allen. He's very physical like Josh Allen. He's a big quarterback, but in my opinion, he's faster. He's quicker than Josh Allen on the ground, which is going to be a nightmare for opposing defenses in the NFL. It was a nightmare for opposing defenses in college, and North Dakota State was able to use this in so many ways in designed runs, and Lance was able to scramble when necessary as well. So this was a huge part of his game and something that I think will really translate well into the NFL. And then another trait of Lance's that I think is very special is that he has a big arm. He's got a cannon of an arm with beautiful touch on deep balls. North Dakota State, again, really utilized this part of his game to their advantage, and it was something that I think will be very, very useful in the NFL. The ability to place a ball downfield with perfect touch is something that Lance has done very well in college. So, as we talked about, he's got elite mobility. He's got a big arm. He's got great touch on deep balls. These are all things that translate. These are the traits. These are the things that we see in a lot of the top quarterbacks in today's NFL. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. These are the traits we see in them, having the rocket arm, being able to move around the field. Trey Lance is built like a top quarterback in today's NFL. And yeah, you can use a little bit of development in terms of his reads down the field, maybe in terms of accuracy, but he has been pretty accurate and he makes a lot of really nice reads. I think he will translate beautifully into the NFL. So as I said, Lance is a little bit of a raw prospect. I think he is more refined than some of the other raw prospects that come out of the draft. But the reason I want to see him go to the Dolphins is because this Dolphins organization is very, very good. And I think they could do a great job successfully developing Trey Lance, putting him in a position where he can succeed. You know, Lance has the upside. He's got the ability like a franchise-leading quarterback. I think Lance is a guy that can bring this Miami team up a level from being a team that's a fringe playoff team to a team that can compete with Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore over the next 5 to 10 years because he is a special quarterback. He is a franchise quarterback, and he has the upside to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And that is just something that the Dolphins do not have with Tua. So the Dolphins have an opportunity here. An opportunity they're not going to be getting for a very, very long time. And as Tua is not built as a quarterback that can really be elite in today's NFL, they need to move on while they still have the chance and take a truly special player in Trey Lance. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. I know a lot of people might disagree with this take as shown by my mock draft video, which currently is sitting somewhere around 142 dislikes and 80 likes. So yeah, let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed the video though. Like, comment, subscribe as always. And until next time, peace.